Details.
आटे बाटे
Ahte bahte.
आटे बाटे टेल्स
Ahte bahte tails.
आटे बाटे
Ahte bahte.
Hello. So let's listen to the story of Tiger's Tail. Yes, a tail with a tail by Michelle Morgan and Debbie Boone. Tiger was not a very special cat. He had no particular talents and he lived nowhere in particular. But he could settle down anywhere at all. He perched in tall trees beneath the stars. He snoozed on the hot tops of cars. He lounged in sunny spaces in the park and prowled on rooftops in the dark. Yes, Tiger could settle anywhere. But he did have his favorite places. One of them was the library. Every morning when the librarian arrived at work, she would find Tiger on the doorstep. She'd unlock the library door and he would pad in and make himself at home. The librarian liked Tiger. He helped to keep all her papers in place. He helped to hold the door open. Sometimes he helped to keep out the cold winds. So the librarian was happy to have the tiger in the library. And Tiger was happy to be in the library. It was cozy off the street. There were soft carpets and chairs to lie on. There were sunny spots to snooze in, and he could listen to stories. Sometimes the librarian read stories to the children. Sometimes the children read stories to each other. Some of the children read stories to themselves. Tiger loved stories. He would lie and snooze and dream, and the stories would tiptoe into his dreams. Then he would add bits of himself to each story. Every evening when the library closed, Tiger would go back out into the street and meet the cats that lived there. They would have adventures. They would sing songs. Sometimes they would have fights. And sometimes they would tell stories. Most cats are not very good at telling stories. But two of the cats were special cats. They could tell stories. The old cat had lived long and well. She had seen so much and remembered so much. She told tales of long ago. Then there was Ship's cat. He had traveled far and wide. He had seen so much and remembered so much. He told tales of far away. Tiger had not lived long. Tiger had not traveled far, so he loved to hear these stories. Tell us another story, he would say. Yes, tell us another story, said the other cats. Please, Tiger begged. Please, 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 please. But the old cat said, not now, my dears. I get tired. Time for my snooze. And the ship's cat said, "Not now, me hearties. I'm off on another swashbuckling adventure. No more stories from me tonight." Tiger sighed. "Never mind," he thought. "I might hear another story tomorrow at the library." So the next morning, bright and early, Tiger was waiting at the library door. He dozed in a sunny corner inside, and all day long stories crept into his dreams. Tiger was dreaming so happily and dozing so deeply that he didn't notice the librarian putting all the books away. He didn't notice the librarian picking up her bag and getting her keys and locking the door behind her. He didn't notice until it was too late. Tiger didn't panic. He'd been locked in before, so he wasn't frightened. He knew he would be all right. There were many tasty mice to be caught in the library. There was plenty of water to drink. There were soft spots to snooze in, and soon the librarian would be back to unlock the door. Tiger could keep himself busy for hours. He could climb and jump and play. But after a while, he got bored. There were no stars to stare at, no moon to sing to, no one to fight with, and no one to tell him stories. He stared at the books. How do you get the stories out of them? Tiger wondered. He tried licking a book to see if he could get the taste of a story. All that happened was the corner of the book got wet, so that didn't work. Then he tried chewing a book to see if he could get the flavor of a story. That didn't work either. Tiger stared and stared. He waited for the story to move so that he could pounce on it and catch it like a mouse. But the book just lay still and quiet. Tiger sighed deeply. As if by magic, a page turned over. "I remember that picture," thought Tiger. "That's the big bad wolf, and he's saying, 'I'll huff and I'll puff and I'll blow your house down.'" Tiger turned the page with a careful paw. He looked at the picture. "I remember that," he said to himself. "That's where the house blew down." Tiger stared as only a cat can stare. He stared and stared and wondered. All that night, Tiger flicked through the pages of the book. He looked at the pictures. He told himself the bits of story he could remember. The hours passed, and the night passed, and the days passed, and still Tiger puzzled. And bit by bit, it all started to make sense. Then there was no stopping him. He read The Cat in the Hat. He read Puss in the Booth. He read Mog. He read all sorts of stories. He read and he read and he read. The days and the nights passed quickly, and soon the librarian was back from her holiday. At last, Tiger could go out at night to sit on his favorite wall. The ship's cat told a tale of far away. The old cat told a tale of long ago. But when all the other cats said, "Tell us another," It was Tiger who told them a story, and then another, and another, and another. Tiger could tell all sorts of stories now. He could tell tales of long ago and far away. He could tell fairy stories. He could tell scary stories. He could tell funny stories. Tiger, you are really something special, said all the other cats. You're a very talented cat. Now, everyone knows that Tiger is a particularly special, particularly talented cat. Tiger is a snoozer in the sun and a singer in the night. He's a cunning prowler and a midnight howler. And he's the only cat that has ever learned to read. He's a very special cat indeed. So that was the story of the tiger. And if you can ever lay your hands on this book, you will see that the pictures done by Debbie Boone are incredible. So children, the tiger read so many stories, and I'm sure you do too. Write into us and tell us about your favorite stories and authors. Bye-bye.